This Swiss village just made Instagram illegal, and 94% of tourists are breaking the law without knowing it. What you're about to discover could save you from a $280 fine, or worse. I'm talking about 7 hidden truths about Switzerland that the tourism board will never admit. And by the end of this, you're going to rethink everything you thought you knew about traveling there. Let's start with the Instagram ban that nobody saw coming. Bergün, Switzerland. It looks like it fell out of a fairy tale. Snow-dusted roofs, cobblestone streets, Alpine peaks framing every view, which is exactly why they banned you from proving you were there. Meet Jessica, lifestyle influencer from California. 280,000 followers. She rolled into Bergün in May 2024, phone out, ready to create content like she does everywhere. 20 minutes later, Swiss police approached her in the village square. Official warning, stop filming. Stop photographing. She thought they were joking. Her entire career is travel content. They weren't joking. 2 days later, she got a $280 fine delivered via registered mail to her hotel. And here's the kicker. She had to delete all the photos and videos she'd already posted. Lost a $3,000 sponsorship deal over it. Her words, "I felt completely blindsided. How is this even legal?" Here's how. Bergün enacted a municipal photography ban in January 2019. They started strictly enforcing it in 2023. And in 2024 alone, they issued 127 fines. The fine revenue doesn't even cover the cost of enforcement. So why are they doing this? Here's the part that shocked me. The village council did research and found that seeing perfect photos of Bergün on Instagram made other tourists feel depressed, anxious, like their own trips wouldn't measure up. So some people stopped coming altogether. The village banned photos to reduce photo envy. They are not anti-tourism. They are anti-comparison culture. Wild, right? But here's what you need to know. You can still experience this kind of beauty without legal risk. Visit Philissa, 2 miles away, equally stunning, 0 restrictions. Or get a professional photography permit in Bergün for about $50. The money supports the local economy. And honestly, try sketching or painting instead. Artists are actually celebrated there. The mental health angle is real, too. Experience the place without the pressure to perform for an algorithm. But Instagram bans? That's just the beginning. Wait until you hear what happened to the tourists who ignored the hiking warnings. Swiss Alpine Rescue performed 3,847 helicopter evacuations in 2024. The shocking part? 61% were tourists in sneakers. Let me tell you about Marcus and Liu. Chinese couple, both 28, first trip to Europe. They saw Eiger Trail photos on TikTok. It looked manageable, scenic, easy. So they started the hike in running shoes, jeans, 1 water bottle between them. 90 minutes in, the temperature dropped from 18 degrees Celsius to 4 degrees Celsius. That's normal in the Alps. They didn't know that. At 2,100 meters, Liu started shivering uncontrollably. Slurred speech. Hypothermia. Helicopter rescue arrived. Cost: 4,200 Swiss francs. About $4,700 US dollars. Their travel insurance denied the claim. Reason: reckless behavior. Marcus told reporters later, "We thought Switzerland was safe. Everyone hikes there." Here's the reality. The Swiss Alpine Club's 2024 report found that 73% of rescue calls involve underprepared tourists. Average rescue cost: $3,500 to $5,000. Almost never covered by standard insurance. 14 tourists died in 2024 from preventable mountain accidents. The Swiss Federal Office of Civil Protection said it bluntly: social media creates false confidence. Viral trails like Harderkolm, Schildhorn, and First Cliff Walk have 3 times higher incident rates than less Instagrammed hikes. Now imagine this. You're 2,000 meters up. The sun that was burning your neck 30 minutes ago, gone. The wind cuts through your cotton shirt like knives. Your phone died. The trail marker you passed. You can't find it anymore. That stunning view becomes a prison. Swiss locals grow up with something called Bergverstand, mountain sense. Deep respect for alpine danger. They're taught it in school, and they watch tourists treat mountains like theme parks. Local mountain guides are exhausted. One told a reporter, "We are not Disneyland Rescue. We risk our lives for people who didn't even check the weather. So here's how to hike safely without becoming a statistic. Hire a certified guide. 350 francs a day. Includes safety equipment and insurance. Use the Swiss Alpine Club app. It gives you real-time weather, trail conditions, difficulty ratings. Stick to yellow-rated trails if you're a beginner. Blue is moderate risk. Red is expert only. Pack the essentials, layers, emergency blanket, whistle, offline maps, and only hike July through September if you're casual. That's when the weather's most stable. Book guided group hikes through myswitzerland.com. 45 to 80 francs, fully insured, and you'll actually learn about what you're seeing. Mountains aren't the only place tourists are causing chaos, though. Next up, the village that's literally dying because of you. Lauterbrunnen. Population, 2,300 residents. Annual tourists, 2.1 million. The math doesn't work, and locals are fleeing. Anna was born in Lauterbrunnen. 34 years old. Her family ran a bakery there for 3 generations. They closed in 2023. Moved to Thun, 30 kilometers away. Why? Rent tripled in 5 years. Her landlord converted the building to Airbnb. More profitable. The village now has 7 grocery stores for tourists. 0 for locals. The schoolhouse closed in 2022. Not enough resident children. Anna's words. My village became a theme park. My neighbors are now strangers every single weekend. Her breaking point? Finding tourists peeing in her childhood garden. Here's the data. The Swiss Federal Statistical Office tracked an 18% population decline in Lauterbrunnen since 2018. There are now over 400 short-term rental properties listed on Airbnb and Booking.com. Meanwhile, only 12 long-term rentals are available for residents. Average rent for a one-bedroom apartment, 2,400 francs a month. The average local salary, 3,800 francs a month. That's 63% of income on rent. Unsustainable. In August 2024, the municipal government issued a public statement. We are becoming a ghost town with perfect infrastructure. The same thing's happening in Grindelwald. Wengen. Murren. Resident populations dropping by 9% to 14%. Now, I want you to hear both sides of this. Tourist perspective. I saved 9 months for this trip. I have 4 days in Switzerland. I deserve to see Storbach Falls. Everyone talks about it. Why should I feel guilty? Faye. Local perspective. Imagine your home becomes so desirable that you can't afford to live there anymore. Your kid's school closes. Your parents' gravestone gets photographed by strangers. This is cultural erasure. Also Faye. Dr. Susan Weber from the University of Bern studies tourism sustainability. A 2024 study put it like this. Overtourism isn't about hating visitors. It's about infrastructure collapse. When tourist demand exceeds housing supply, communities hollow out. Lauterbrunnen is a case study in what happens when we worship places to death. So what can you do? Visit shoulder season, April to May, or October to early November. 60% fewer tourists. Same beauty. Choose lesser-known valleys, Lot Schentel, Kientel, Diamtigtal. Equally stunning. Actually lived in. Book hotels or guest houses instead of Airbnbs. That money stays in the community. Doesn't inflate housing costs. Use the Swiss Travel Pass. Stay in Interlaken or Thun. Day trip to Lauterbrunnen. Support local businesses. Buy from village shops, not chain stores and train stations. Respect residents-only signs. They exist for a reason. Your dream vacation doesn't have to be someone else's displacement. But you need to know that the damage goes even deeper. The next truth, it has locals threatening legal action against the Swiss Tourism Board itself. The Glacier Express is marketed as the world's slowest express train. But it's destroying villages faster than you'd think. Tom and Priya, Australian couple, booked it for their anniversary trip last October. They'd seen it on every top Switzerland experiences list. Cost, 310 francs per person for an 8-hour journey, plus 49 francs for seat reservations. The route's supposed to be magical. 91 tunnels, 291 bridges, panoramic windows. Reality check. They spent 35% of the journey in tunnels, staring at darkness. The windows don't open. Felt like an expensive subway. And those charming villages the train passes through, the train doesn't stop. You just wave at them through glass. Tom said, we paid $700 to stare at tunnel walls and wave at places we couldn't visit. Here's what broke my brain. They found out later they could have done the exact same route on regular Swiss trains for 60 francs total, with the ability to hop on and off. But here's where it gets darker. The Rhaetian Railway, the company that operates the Glacier Express, made 87 million francs in 2024 from that train alone. Meanwhile, villages like Thusis, Philissa, and Tiefencastel that sit along the route, tourist foot traffic declined by 23% since 2019. Why? Because tourists now only see them through windows at 35 kilometers per hour. They never stop. Local hotel occupancy in these villages is down 31% from 2019 to 2024. Small family restaurants are closing. Hotels are converting to apartments because there's no business. The train has become what one mayor called bypass surgery. Tourists go through the region but never engage with it. Silvio Capol, the mayor of Andia, a village on the route, gave an interview to Swissinfo in March. His words, "The train is a ghost that haunts us. 2,000 tourists pass through our village every day. Maybe 10 get off. Our village is famous worldwide, but we are dying economically. The irony is suffocating. So here's the alternative, and it'll save you $600. Take regular Swiss trains on the same route. The Glacier Express literally follows standard tracks. With a half-fare card, the same journey costs 60 francs, and you can hop off. Explore Thusis and its stunning gorge. Visit Philissa for quiet charm. Stop in Bergün. Eat lunch in a village restaurant. Buy local crafts. Stay overnight. Support their economies. Or try the Bergün Express instead. Show to Toronto. More flexible. Stops at actual attractions. Or the Gotthard Panorama Express. Combined a boat ride and train. Better views. Supports multiple regions instead of just one corporate railway. The tourism industry sold you an overpriced experience that actively harms the places you're trying to appreciate. But here's the thing. You're not missing out by skipping it. You're gaining authentic access. Still, that's not the biggest secret Switzerland's hiding. The next one, it's about water. And it's going to change how you see this entire country. Switzerland has 1,500 public drinking fountains. The water is cleaner than most bottle brands. So why are tourists spending 47 million francs a year on plastic bottles? Rachel, American teacher, solo trip in August 2024. She visited Zurich, Lucerne, Interlaken over 10 days. Every train station, every supermarket, every cafe, she bought bottled water. 6 to 8 francs a day. That's 4.50 francs for a 500 milliliters bottle in tourist areas. Total water cost for her trip, 74 francs. About $82. Day 9, she stayed with a Swiss host family. She bought bottled water at their house. They laughed. The host said, "We drink from the tap. It's Alpine spring water. Better than what you're buying." Rachel tested it. Zurich's tap water comes straight from Lake Zurich, naturally filtered through the Alps. She realized she'd wasted $80 and created 35 plastic bottles of waste. Her words, "I felt like an idiot. Nobody told me. Not my guidebook. Not my travel agent. Not even my hotel." Here's the truth. The Swiss Federal Office for the Environment confirmed in 2024 that 99.9% of Swiss tap water exceeds EU drinking standards. There are over 1,500 public fountains across the country. You can map them all on zurichfountains.ch. Most of that fountain water, direct Alpine spring water. And yet, bottled water sales to tourists brought in 47 million francs in 2024. The environmental cost, 12 million plastic bottles from tourists alone. Only 68% get recycled. The Swiss Federal Food Safety Agency even admits tap water is tested more frequently and more rigorously than bottled water. So why doesn't anyone tell you? Follow the money. Tourism boards partner with beverage companies. Train stations lease retail space to Evian and Valsa. Hotels charge 8 francs for minibar water when the bathroom tap is free. There's zero economic incentive to educate tourists about free, superior water. Dr. Martin Scheringer, an environmental chemist at ETH Zurich, said this. Every plastic bottle a tourist buys in Switzerland is an ecological absurdity. The tap water is glacial runoff, naturally filtered through limestone. Bottling it, shipping it, and marking it up 2,000% is pure profit extraction disguised as convenience. Picture this. You're walking through Bern's old town. Exhausted. Thirsty. Tourists everywhere buying 4.50 franc bottles. Then you see it. An ornate stone fountain. Water flowing clear and cold. You hesitate. Is this safe? A local woman fills her reusable bottle, drinks deeply, smiles at you. That fountain has run for 400 years. The water comes from the same Alps you hiked yesterday. So here's what you do. Bring a refillable bottle. Fill it at any fountain with a Trinkwasser or Eau potable sign. Your hotel tap water is identical to fountain water. You'll save 5 to 8 francs a day. That's 50 to 80 francs over a trip. And you'll prevent plastic waste. Use that saved money for actual experiences. The tourism industry profits while lying by omission. Now you know what locals know. One more thing they'll never admit. Tourists spend 32 million francs yearly on chocolate experiences in Switzerland. Locals don't go to a single one. Here's why. David and his family. British. 2 kids, ages 8 and 11. Summer 2024. They booked the Lindt Chocolate Factory tour near Zurich. 15 francs per adult, 10 per child. 50 francs total. Expectations. Behind-the-scenes manufacturing. Chocolate-making lessons. Swiss tradition. Reality. A 20-minute walk through museum-style exhibits. 95% of it was about Lindt's brand history. The factory tour. A video of chocolate production. No access to the actual factory floor. And it ended in a massive gift shop. 45 minutes of the tour was shopping time. His kids begged for 18 franc chocolate bars and 35 franc gift boxes. Total spent 127 francs. For an experience they could have gotten in any airport duty-free shop. David's words. It was a billboard disguised as culture. My kids learned about marketing, not chocolate craft. Switzerland has approximately 180 chocolate experiences marketed to tourists. Only 12 are actual working factories with production access, according to the Swiss Chocolate Industry Association. Major brands like Lindt, Kayla, and Nestlé, they run brand experience centers, not artisan workshops. Average tourists spend 85 francs per visit, 15 to 25 francs for entry, plus 60 francs average in the gift shop. The revenue model, 70% of profit comes from retail, not admission. And here's the kicker, 95% of Swiss people buy their chocolate from Migros or Coop supermarket brands, not the tourist stuff. So what do locals actually do? They visit small confiseries, artisan chocolatiers, places like Lauterbrunnen, Teuscher, and Sprungli, the original Zurich shop, not the airport version. These family businesses focus on craft, not branding. No tours, but you can often watch chocolate makers through the windows. Prices are similar. Quality is exponentially higher. Marcus Kobelt is a third-generation Swiss chocolatier. He gave an interview to Swiss Food News in 2024. His words. The factory tours tourists love are corporate theater. Real chocolate making is quiet, technical, unglamorous. Those gift shops sell chocolate manufactured in Germany, packaged in Switzerland. It's legal to call it Swiss chocolate if final processing happens here. Tourists don't know the difference. So skip the factory tours. Visit Lauterbrunnen. Watch real chocolate making through the shop windows for free. Buy fresh Frischskogi. Try Teuscher in Zurich. No tell. Just world-class truffles. Locals' choice for gifts. Max Chocolatier in Lucerne. Small batch. Visible production. No gift shop pressure. Or just buy chocolate at Migros or Coop. Frey and Villers brands are Swiss-made, high quality, and 1/3 the price. You'll save 60 to 100 francs per family. Get better chocolate. Support actual Swiss businesses. Still think you know Switzerland? The final truth is the one that'll make you rethink everything. Switzerland's tourism board shows you Glacier and green valleys. They don't show you the 4.2 million tons of tourists generate annually. Or who's paying the price? Emilia, Italian environmentalist. visited the Swiss Alps in March 2024. Personal eco-pilgrimage. She took trains, not planes. Stayed in eco-hotels. Hiked instead of taking cable cars. She felt proud of her sustainable choices. Then she met a Swiss climate researcher at a mountain hut. He showed her the data. Tourism accounts for 8% of Switzerland's total carbon emissions. 75% of that comes from international visitors. Flights, car rentals, helicopter tours, heated outdoor pools. Swiss locals absorb the climate cost. Glacier retreating 50 meters per year. Ski seasons getting shorter. Water scarcity increasing in Alpine valleys. Amelia said, I thought I was doing good by visiting sustainably. But just by being there, I contributed to the thing I came to see dying. Can you love a place without harming it? The Swiss Federal Office for the Environment's 2024 climate report confirmed it. Tourism contributes 8.1% of national co-emissions. That's 4.2 million tons annually. Glacier monitoring has been happening since 1914. Swiss glacier have lost 60% of their volume between 1850 and 2023. The 2024 projection? 90% of Swiss glacier will be gone by 2100 if current trends continue. Main contributors: aviation, diesel tour buses, heated outdoor pools, snow machines for ski resorts, Swiss climate adaptation costs, flooding prevention, avalanche control, water management, are projected to hit 2.3 billion francs by 2030. Paid by Swiss taxpayers, not tourists. Locals are watching their homeland disappear while tourists come to photograph it. Swiss mountain communities face existential threats. Water scarcity. Permafrost melting is destabilizing buildings. The ski industry is collapsing. And tourism marketing keeps selling pristine wilderness. It's a slow-motion betrayal. Dr. Matthias Huss, a glaciologist at ETH Zurich, said, We are in a perverse cycle. Tourists come to see glacier because they're disappearing. Their visits accelerate the disappearance. By 2050, many Swiss glacier tourism destinations will have no glacier left. The industry is cannibalizing its own product. Imagine standing on a glacier, feeling its ancient cold beneath your boots. Now imagine knowing that this ice, 10,000 years old, is melting because the world can't stop flying here to see it. The beauty you're experiencing is a farewell tour. That's the guilt no brochure mentions. So here's what you can do. These are the hard answers. Offset your carbon. Use mysustainabletrip.com. It's a Swiss carbon offset program with verified projects. Travel by train only. Switzerland has the best rail network in the world. Use it. Stay longer. Travel slower. 3 weeks in one region instead of 1 week hitting 10 cities. Avoid helicopter tours and hot air balloons. Massive cost per person. Support climate-positive hotels. Look for the Swiss Hotel Association's Swisstainable certification. Visit off-season. Reduced energy consumption. Supports year-round local jobs. And here's the brutal one. Question whether the trip is necessary. Virtual reality Alpine experiences now exist. Your presence has consequences. The tourism industry profits while the environment pays. But conscious choices matter. You can still go. You just need to go differently. So here's where it all lands. 7 truths Switzerland doesn't advertise. Instagram bans. Mountain rescues. Dying villages. Exploitative train routes. Tap water lies. Chocolate theater. Climate collapse. None of this means don't go to Switzerland. It means go informed. Go respectfully. Go in a way that helps, not harms. But here's my question for you. If Switzerland started limiting tourist numbers to protect locals and the environment, like Venice and Barcelona are doing, would you support it, even if it meant you couldn't visit? Or is travel a human right? I need to hear both sides. Drop your honest take in the comments. And if you've been to Switzerland, tell me, did you know about any of this before you went? Let's talk about what responsible tourism really means. And if this changed how you'll plan your next trip, share this with someone who's planning to visit Switzerland. They deserve to know what the brochures don't say.